Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. If you like watching podcasts, well, head on over and just search for @Tom and Dan Live.
And if you want to subscribe to become a BDM, that's our subscription service we've had for about 11 years now. You get an extra show every Monday. We do a BDM show, and you can only listen to that once you put your name and password in the app. Or on the website, but you can get it through our free app if you search Tom and Dan on your app store.
There's tons of content on there, all kinds of new stuff, old stuff.
And we're doing 2 BDM events. We've done 2 a year for only BDMs. Every year we've had the BDM subscription, and so you get invited to that, an email invite for you and a guest to come to those. I was talking to Crystal yesterday, and we were at... I'll tell you about this. So we went to their annual, the school puts on like a winter wonderland, they call it. They've been doing it every year. Like some schools
Sounds like something you would hate.
The
old winter carnival.
It's essentially trunk or treat, but it's
candy canes.
It's Christmas trunk or treat.
Yes.
And so they basically, each teacher, I guess they opt to do it, which, by the way, I started thinking if I was a teacher, this would be something I'd never optionally do because
you would be like the non-optional teacher.
Yeah. I'd be the curmudgeon science teacher that's drinking on the job, that never is involved with anything unless the principal mandates every teacher being there.
You know, you are pointing out something that my mom did that I don't see a lot of, was like my mom did so many things that were like the little things that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
And most of your awesome teachers do that.
No, I know.
So you and I would probably be poor teachers.
Hats off to all the teachers volunteering to do a trunk or treat.
That is the only thing people do, is they take their hats off to them. They don't give them money or anything. They're just like, hats off. Yeah, thoughts and prayers. Hats off to you teachers.
The teacher's like, I need money. Now you're stinking hat.
I'll stomp your ass.
Like, I don't care about your appreciation. Like, I don't know. I can't pay you.
You've been saying that a lot lately, and I flagged it in my brain. You're like, hats off? I'm like, oh, he's doing the hats off again.
They're like, hold on. If every parent here gave me an extra $500,
gave me a hat, I'll sell all the hats.
Like, how about an extra $500? And we're all like, no. Just hats off.
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah.
I'll give you a salute.
Hats off, thoughts and prayers, anything but money. Anyway.
I think hats off is worse than thoughts and prayers.
So they do this winter wonderland, and the teachers, like, some of them go like great.
They dress up like a snowman. And
the Grinch, the full-on Grinch outfit, and they have like a table behind
Boy Grinch
trunk.
or girl Grinch?
Boy Grinch. Okay. But then they it's ridiculous.
I like a good girl Grinch.
And then this year, though, they stepped it up, and it seemed like some and maybe the PTA, some parent got in there like, well, I can get a DJ. They had a DJ.
Oh my God.
And a snow machine.
DJ Khaled.
And and then I'm like, they had some food trucks.
That's cool.
So I started thinking, I was like, well,
I can do a winter carnival.
Well, telling Crystal, I was like, I wonder. I'm like, I'll get a bounce house.
I'm a teacher now.
If I can get on the mic and be like, hey, T&D Media donated this bounce house.
Oh yeah.
Tommy and Max's dad paid for it.
Yeah. Only Tommy and Max allowed to jump in it.
No, all the kids could jump in it, but then the boys would be like, oh, your dad bought us a bounce house. But Crystal said I have to join the PTA and be more involved. I can't just throw money.
I don't think you need to join it. You just need to find somebody on the PTA that you can kind of funnel your ideas to.
But I don't know if they appreciate. They're like, oh, this guy just wants the appreciation.
I think that's the only reason they do it. Like the only
reason. They're doing meetings and doing they're involved in the
they're still
school.
Egomaniacs. The lady that I know, remember the lady that hit my car?
Yeah.
She's on the PTA. And she doesn't do it because she loves it.
Oh, listen, be careful with you. You're going to do real. Like, I don't want to cause you problems. I have to save you from yourself.
I know.
Because then you're going to be yelling at your wife.
I'm just saying. It's like, I don't think she does it because she loves it. I think she does it because it's got a certain level of coolness that comes with it, right?
Back to my original point with the BDMs, I started thinking, I'm like, we should do a BDM family get-together at a park. And
now, you have been saying that for about a decade.
And then I know we did a BDM barbecue back in the day.
No,
Tony kind of put it together.
I remember one time you said that you wanted to have like double bounce house, a video game truck. You wanted to have.
Well, we had the video games truck scheduled for the BDM barbecue, but that was
that's right.
That was
Something
in
happened,
COVID,
right? Yeah.
Wasn't it during COVID?
Yeah.
We had to cancel. I forgot why. Anyway, but I was like, we could put this together and just do something. Get some food trucks, get some kid events.
The chat room would like me to point out to you that they feel like you are going through your yearly phase of I need recognition, where you go through a phase of you want to set up a thing and then point at it and be like, I did that, and then everybo's supposed to cheer.
No one, that's weird. That's what every human wanted. That's why Jerry Jones built the biggest stadium in the world.
It's falling apart now.
That's what he wants.
It's falling apart now.
Anyway, become a BDM, TomandDan.com.
Are we gonna do that? Are we gonna buy something for the Winter Carnival? Now would be the time to get in.
Well, it's already over.
No,
and
I know for next year.
Yeah, but Tommy's now leaving, so it's only Max would get he's going to fifth grade.
You can invite Tommy back. He'll just be like a Matthew McConaughey, and all right. He's just older, coming back for the.
I need
the girls keep staying the same age. The girls stay the same age.
I may have to do it. I don't think the middle schools do nothing.
Is this going to break you apart? The fact that they are now broken apart, this is going to be a rough year. Not for them, for you.
Well, I want Tommy. Okay, I'll tell you my fantasy.
Oh, did you get him a gun? Did you get him a gun?
No.
Okay.
So the 2 days a week we go to cross country, right? And they do the program Tuesday mornings and Thursday mornings. And some of the kids that have gone to middle school are like in sixth grade, but they were in cross country the year before. They come and run before middle school.
Okay.
So they still, even though they go to a different school now, they'll come back to their elementary school and then run cross country because the coach is like, hey, you guys, I'd love for you guys to, if you want to come back, and it's great. And I see these kids and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This kid, I mean, he doesn't have to wake up. You have to wake up at 6 in the morning to get there by 7 or whatever.
Early. Yeah, it's hard.
Like middle school starts way later. Like there was one of the benefits of middle school is it starts at 9:30. Yeah. But these kids, they're waking up early still 2 days a week going back. And I'm like, these kids got the goods. Like this is amazing, right?
I got you.
And then so I want Tommy when he goes to middle school to then come because Max will be doing cross country next year, to come back and run cross country with us.
Now, what if he says no?
Well, I know he's going to say no. What if I even propose that to him? He's like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, I get to go. I have to sleep in.
Well, let's work on this. How do we make your dream happen? You're going to have to pay him. You have to pay him.
Yeah, but it's. It never works. They don't understand money because they don't care about money.
Now, I know you don't like doing this, but if let's say you said, hey, this is something that means something to me. If you don't run, you don't get an iPad.
Well,
I'm not saying that. I'm
punishing him kind of. Like, this is just above and beyond. I want him to be the kids that wake up early.
That's like asking that. There's a fat. Okay, let me give you a great example that's very pertinent and in the news. There is a very fat rapper right now whose name is Dave Blunts. I believe that's his name.
All right, Dave Blunts.
And he's like 500 pounds.
Okay, all right.
And he got
500?
Yeah, he's he raps with an oxygen tank. On stage, he cannot stand. He has to sit on a couch.
Okay. When you said 500, I thought you were exaggerating. No. I'm like, usually if you're 500, you can't walk.
No. Dave Blunts.
He is couch bound.
Yeah, here's the picture of him yelling at Snoop Dogg. Okay. I'm going to weave this in. Hollywood Danny's here, by the way. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to play my song. Hold on. Here we go.
Hey, it's Hollywood Danny.
Hollywood Danny. All right, Hollywood Danny, breaking Hollywood news.
So
Dave Blunts. Yeah, Dave Blunts. He's a 500-pound rapper. Here he is on stage. There he is.
Okay, wow. Yeah, he is big.
Let me put this up so everybody can kind of see it here. And again, I apologize for my voice.
Does he tout himself as the world's biggest rapper?
I don't know if he touts himself as the world's biggest rapper, but he's a super big boy. All right, here he is. All right, I got it here. Here's Dave Blunts. 500-pound Dave Blunt slams Snoop Dogg fans he slammed Snoop Dogg because Snoop Dogg was like, yo, cousin, put down the chips, put down the cup, N-word. You know, like he did that.
Okay.
That was a pretty decent Snoop.
Old man Snoop Dogg was
Yeah.
Telling this guy not to eat so much?
Yeah,
All
Snoop
right.
Dogg was like, hey, cuz, put down the chips. You know, like he was doing the,
Okay, all right, yeah.
yeah, booga looga. You know, he's like, sticky, icky, icky.
Now, of all things Snoop Dogg could have said, it's not that bad, honestly.
No. In fact, I think a lot of people are like wanting, like they're doing it out of like, kind of like, it's a joke. You are 500 pounds. You do use oxygen on the stage. Like this is how he raps, which is kind of sad. And by kind of, I mean very.
Okay, well,
So
it's
it's
the
out
way
of
he
love.
wants to live.
It's out of love. But
It's America. You can do what you want.
But also, just to go back to my analogy of Tommy wanting to do the thing, this dude is never going to lose that weight or stop rapping with an oxygen tank unless he wants to do it. He's going to stay on that couch and rap with an oxygen tank, and I personally hope your son does that because that would be awesome. But he won't because he's too skinny.
So, yeah. Like,
It's not going to happen. He's going to have to want to do it is my point.
Also, there is a paradox you get into, and I feel like Bert Kreischer's got into this paradox. Anybody who is known for a novelty, and I say Bert Kreischer, like Bert Kreischer takes his shirt off, gets drunk all the time. Like, known for partying.
Yeah.
Harder for him to stop doing that because that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? So if he like stop drinking, even though he has and stuff and whatever, he's funny enough to get through it, but there is something to be said to that. What you're known for kind of is you built a prison.
Right.
You're stuck. And so if you're this guy, and this is why, it's kind of like why we think Jelly Roll won't ever lose the weight, because it's part of who his character and who he's become.
I mean, he is 100 pounds down, but I don't see him going the ripped way because, like you said, it is part of him. I'm trying to find the video of him yelling at Snoop.
Going full Jonah Hill, because Jonah Hill went from big to he's skinny now. Like Jonah Hill, I don't know if he went back, but he was.
I think he's normal now.
He was at one point very thin. And so, you could lose if you're 500 pounds. I mean, you could lose 100 pounds, and you can't really tell that much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good, but at that point,
I'm trying to find this video for you. I want you. Oh, here it is.
If you lost 300 pounds, you'd be like, you really.
Okay,
noticed.
here's the video. This is really sad. This is him on stage.
I want to hear him rap.
He does. It's different here.
Hey, Chicago, do y'all have a problem with me sitting down on this stage? A rapper.
So he says.
And by the way, if Chicago did have a problem, or could you do anything about it? Why did you even ask that?
Well, he asked it because he claps back at Snoop here. Because remember, Snoop fired back, I believe, on Twitter first, saying his whole put the chips down, cuz. And then you got this. I think here he goes.
Falling off.
Here he goes.
Some other people give this man props.
Oh, okay. Well, this guy's doing his own thing. But basically he says, hey, Chicago, do you have any problem with me sitting on this couch and rapping? And then you hear people go like, ah. I mean, there's probably a lot of yes.
Yeah, but there's
you can't hear it. But there are, if I were there and he had said, hey, Chicago, do you have a problem with me rapping on this couch? I'd be like, yes, I do. I would say it. But with my voice like this, I'd have to say it quietly. I'd be like, yes, I do.
But you've done enough crowd performances where you can get the crowd to cheer at anything at the way you phrase it.
Yeah,
because then they just want to know, like, if you phrase it as if you want them to cheer, they'll cheer.
Yeah, so he's like, hey, Chicago, you got a problem when we sit on this couch? And then people, you get the groan, and then he goes, so hey, Snoop Dogg, get off my D.
Okay.
And then Snoop clapped back after watching the video and was like, basically laughing the whole time and like, go on, little. He goes, go on, little cousin. I mean, big cousin. He does the Snoop.
Old man joke.
And he gave him another joke. He doubled down. He goes, go on, little cuz. I mean, big cuz. I mean, big cuz. Yeah. He starts like messing with him, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny, but I think most people are good-hearted when they say, hey, if you're a good rapper, people like you, lose some weight so we can enjoy you longer than apparently to the end of the year, because you're on oxygen, bro.
Yeah.
Like that is a different level of like being sick,
It is. And obviously now he's young, right?
He's 13.
No, I don't. He's in his 20s, though, right?
Yeah, I think he's in his 20s.
Yeah. In your 20s, your body can to fight through it for a while. You know, it's when it gets above that.
Let me see how old he is. He's 23. Yeah, he's
Okay,
young.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
very young.
Yeah.
So
that young
you're right.
23-year-old body, you could fight through the morbidly obese.
He could probably be a pretty amazing redemption story. You know, like he could go from being on stage, the beef with Snoop, lose a lot of weight.
But will he still continue to get gigs if he's not the novelty?
Do you think people are coming to watch him because he's the rapper that is on oxygen and sits on a couch?
Okay,
I think you're right.
Remember when I was defending a monster? I'm gonna now just be stereotypical promoter who only cares about money. Okay, so Tom Van. I'm Tom Van, and I'm putting together.
I can answer your question. You know, if you ask me as a person, would I go watch him a rap? I'd be like, well, I mean, yeah, but only because he's
Now, I don't know this person. I don't know his rapping skills, but I would.
Let me pull up a song.
Venture just to guess that there probably are. Just the same quality of actual lyricists out there that are just as good
as Dave Blunt.
I know it's subjective and it's hard to say the one rapper is as good as another, but I'm saying, like, if you were able to actually grade the rapping, I would bet that there's probably a dozen Dave Blunts that are just as good at rapping. Now, what sets Dave Blunt apart,
I'd agree with that,
is he's 500 pounds and he can't walk and he has to rap from a couch. Now,
right.
If I'm the promoter of the show and I'm looking through the spreadsheet of who I could choose,
right.
I'm going with the guy on the couch because it's a novelty for the audience. And they're like, whoa, look at that.
I don't have his story. I'm not a rapper. But as a musician, I know I can perform pretty well.
Yeah.
So then I think about that and how many other, like, even in this town, in Orlando, how many good rappers do we know that could rap as good as this guy but don't have the hook? Yeah. Our buddy Ryan in the chat room has a great idea. He said that he should lose the weight but then still perform on a couch with an oxygen tank just for spite. That's brilliant.
I love oxygen.
That's what you
Nothing
do.
wrong with
That's
this.
what you do. The O2 tour. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
And now it's interesting how they. What I want to know if I'm interviewing.
What a time to be in entertainment, dude. Like Dave Blunt, we were talking about him today. What about yesterday? You and I were talking about 70-year-old Ice-T put out a body count album.
No, I know. Yeah.
What a time to be a weirdo in music.
So
it's never been a better time to be a weirdo because you can put anything out there and people love it.
I want to find out behind the scenes how this guy tours from city to city, because just getting him on the stage, I don't think the stages don't necessarily have to have wheelchair ramps. Obviously, if it's your own private stage, it's not a public thing. So they must get him up there in a wheelchair and push him somewhere. And then how does he fit on the bus? He can't sleep in a normal tour bus bunk bed. Does he sleep sitting up on the tour bus couch? It's an uncomfortable life.
Yeah, it's a hard life.
Yeah. I mean, that is because there's no place to sleep on any sort of RV. Have you ever been in an RV? This guy could not fit in an RV or any sort of tour bus.
What's weird is, though, it is an interesting thing that I watched a bit of his performance when he was on the stage. This was at the Juice WRLD concert in Chicago, like a big... Or Juice Day. It was like a big festival.
Okay.
And I watched a bit of it. He is so big and he's on oxygen that he basically just plays his track and he raps, and somebody said this in the chat room, he kind of raps bits and pieces of it because he's almost so unhealthy.
Out of breath.
Yeah, he's almost so unhealthy that he can't, try to be a rapper. When you're rapping, try to be outcast on stage.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's amazing you're still alive. They're cheering. They're like,
it is weird. It is a weird thing.
Just you getting up on stage and breathing is we'll cheer at.
Correct me. Are you putting this as Tom Van?
I don't mean to be insensitive.
I do.
This is as the D-head promoter.
I 100% mean to be insensitive.
I'm still the D-head promoter.
Do you put him in the same category as a Corey Feldman? People come to see the train wreck.
Yeah. Yes. Now, it's a different train wreck. Obviously, Corey Feldman.
Big train.
like this guy,
Bigger train.
it seems like he can actually rap and he has talent. Corey Feldman. Now, I guess Corey Feldman
has talent.
He
It's just not a lot of talent.
he plays instruments. Yeah, you're right. He has some talent. You can't take that away. He's more talented than I am. As far as singing and dancing,
Different talents.
If we
I can teach you how to dance like Michael Jackson in 2 weeks.
No. I think Corey Feldman can dance better than I can, and sing better.
I'll give him
play guitar better.
I'll give him those, but I think you could outdrum him, and you're stronger than him, and you could outrun him. You could outrun him.
Okay, the physical feats maybe,
you
but
could outrun him.
he may be more interesting on the show.
He would be a good, horrible business partner.
Bad at business.
Bad at business, real bad.
Although, what is Corey Feldman worth? What do you think he's worth?
I'm gonna say he's $2 million.
God, he wasted a lot though. Although he gets a lot of opportunity, your $2 million is pretty good. I will go just with real estate. He bought real estate, and
This can't be true.
I'm going $4.3 million.
This cannot be true.
All right, what is it? What does it say?
It says on this website it says he's worth $260,000.
Okay, 260.
I was like, I think if I liquidated, I might beat him.
No. He's got because he had a house in like California that's got to be $1 million house. I've seen it on unless he had to sell it.
God.
And Tiffany, remember she said like the Angels used to practice at his house, and it was some.
Well, she also said a lot of other stuff that we can't really talk about.
But it's like just if he bought some property, like he's in his 50s.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT and see if it gives me a different answer. Yeah, okay. It compiled everything that I just saw. So we have $30,000 according to Celebrity Net Worth.
No, they're just insulting him now.
Then we have $1 million according to legit.ng, and then we have $2 million according to Tadler.
I think the $2 million. I think it's you were right.
He reported. Oh wow! I got from the IRS. These discrepancies may stem from different assessment methods and the timing of evaluations. Notably, during divorce proceedings in 2024, Feldman disclosed having around $34,000 in the bank and owing approximately $200,000 to the IRS. He reported earning $78,000 in 2023.
Oh wow.
Dude, this is worse than we thought.
Yeah. Then he got a
That is from his actual IRS documents. He made less than a lot of our listeners last year.
Yeah. Now,
we have some nurses. We have some traveling nurses that email me that doubled, maybe tripled his salary.
Now, I bet you
that's nuts.
His touring manager or wherever the hell, there's some cash deals with some of these clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not reporting everything. So the 74 is probably low, but even if he cleared like 110, I would have guessed more. Just in the fact that I remember when we wanted to book him, it was like 15,000.
It was 15K,
yeah. And so I was like, all right, if that's his going rate, and he's and you start doing the math, you're like, well, you can make over $1 million touring throughout the year and all these places.
Well, based on 15K,
but maybe
2023, he only performed 6 times.
Yeah, and maybe a lot of other deals were ticket sales stuff that, like, I mean.
Well, he does sell merch. He does sell,
Yeah, you would think with merch he would make.
I don't think he's that organized, though. Dude.
Yeah, you're right.
I've been on his website before. It's like GeoCities. It's it's like a Wix.com.
I always forget that. I'm like, I think these celebrities or like the people that have notoriety have like smart people behind the scenes, like helping them.
Even guys that have it together. I remember one time Marlon Wayans came in here, and I go to his website, and he didn't pay for it, and he was down, and I'm like, dude, you got to pay for your website.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
although that's probably I'm just too busy to notice.
Correct. He doesn't need a website. Too big.
But I always thought there were handlers that like basically, but the handlers skimming from the top, right? That's why they're doing it.
They probably get lazy too, right? Just like anybody does. You do something for long enough, and then it gets lazier and lazier.
Imagine the nightmare of the manager of like Corey Feldman, where you're sitting back and let's just say back to Tom Van, the promoter.
Oh yeah, I love him.
I'm like, this guy, everybody knows him. Like, anytime he does a performance on the Today Show, the internet blows up and they're clowning him, you know, like. And so, I mean, I could set up a tour date with this guy, and like, we could tour around, and we could hit the radio stations. Like, the radio stations would love interviewing Corey Feldman.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he's promoting, like, I'll be at the House of
You
Blues.
could probably charge for that, and they'd pay.
Yeah, but even it would be easy to get interviews because they'd all, you know, and then I'd tell them, like, hey, you can't talk to him like he's crazy. Like, you have to be cool, you know? And they'll do it just to get him on.
Softballs only.
But then you have to deal with Corey Feldman the whole year and get him to show up at the shows, and then
do you think he's annoying?
And get him to practice. Oh yeah.
Do you think he's more annoying than me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing you've ever told me.
He's severely mentally ill.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
No,
I'm less annoying.
I don't think he.
I appreciate that.
I don't know if he has much understanding of what is really going on. I don't know, but maybe he does, and maybe it's all kind of just a put on a little bit.
I think he's also addicted to sex.
Yeah, well, there's some of that.
But that's the fun part, right? Like, if you're getting to, like, hang out with him and he's like, hey, the Angels are having an orgy. You want to come in here and hang out? You can film it in the corner. I'd be like, all right. That's cool, Corey.
There has to be something with the Angels, right? Although Tiffany said they all knew he was crazy and they're doing it for the job.
But she also said some other things about his treatment of them that was like, I can't even say it.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to Corporate Time. I know that, Daniel, you went to Kacey Musgraves.
Yeah, Kacey Musgraves, the
That's fine, we'll get through
it. The country music superstar Kacey Musgraves. I'm a massive fan of Kacey Musgraves.
Yeah.
And I've seen her at the St. Augustine Amphitheater probably in 2015.
Now, I know a lot of people know who Kacey Musgraves is, but maybe there are some Tom Vans out there that are not familiar.
Let me explain it to you.
Okay, so country music artist. She's young?
Yeah, I mean, she's young, but she was like when she came out, she kind of came out as, I believe she was a Nashville Star product. They used to have a show back in the day called Nashville Star that was very much like American Idol.
Yeah.
And it was just country adjacent.
Okay.
So on this particular show, I think she was a contestant. I don't necessarily think there was anything memorable about her on the show.
Yeah.
But like most of those guys back in the day, and I'm sure it kind of happens now, we just don't hear about it as much. She went on and like actually got a deal and then started like working her way in Nashville. And she'd already been singing and doing stuff in Nashville at the time.
Okay.
So she, I mean, as things kind of progressed, she was kind of like that alt country, but like your weed girl. You know, like free thinker, nose ring, smokes weed, not a whore, you know.
Yeah.
Not like Gretchen Wilson would have been more of you're like, I'm a bad bitch and I'm a whore. Whereas Kacey is more of, I'm alternative, I smoke weed, I have a nose ring, I like gay people.
No, okay, yeah. So,
you get it?
Yeah. Like, more
a bit of a disruption to country, but not like.
Yeah. Female non-booger jelly roll.
Yes, exactly. Female non-booger jelly roll is perfect.
Yeah. Because jelly roll in the country world is fish out of water.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't even know what the country world thinks of jelly roll.
I don't think he's as well embraced as maybe we think he is, because he's embraced by the world globally. I think everybody loves him. Like, if you're doing popular vote, I feel like jelly roll wins. But in country, I feel like he's winning, but only because of casual people. I feel like real country music stars hate that fat F.
Okay,
Seriously, I think they do. I think they like, if you're like a real.
They're mad that
yes,
the
rapper,
the machine.
Yeah.
Because
they created him, right?
I don't even know who is pushing it. It's just
I don't know. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sort of obsessed with it. Anyway, so we go to Kacey Musgraves, and Maisie and I love Kacey. A lot of her songs are very sentimental. They're kind of sad. They're like sad songs.
Yeah.
I like sad songs. I always have. Maisie, the acorn does not fall too far from the tree. We'll get to that. But I'm guessing that she likes sad songs as well. So we head on over to the Amway. Now, the Dennises are always early.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that.
If the vans are always late, you know the Dennises are always early. It's almost like the only way that this show would have ever worked is if we had these two almost mirror image, yet completely different.
Yeah.
Like families that, like, you have 2 kids, I have 1 kid, right? I have, she is.
You're early, I'm late.
Yeah.
You mean the middle.
Yeah, and
you
it-
can't
and-
have 2 lates.
No, 2 lates is bad. 2 earlys is real bad because that nobody's getting anything done. So, I think Andrea was so concerned about giving her the true concert experience that if I'm just going to, in hindsight, say what I'm saying now, we got there way too early because Andrea wanted her to see everything, like the openers, Nickel Creek was the first opener. Great band. The story about Nickel Creek that's interesting is they were a band that was very popular, I want to say from like 88 to right around 2002.
Okay.
And then it's a brother and a sister that are bluegrass players. And a guy on a mandolin. They're amazing musicians, but they're the type of band that, like, they were killing it, and then I think they just went and had families, and now they're kind of doing their second wave of it's like a comeback.
Okay.
They're that talented too. They're really, really good. So I was happy that she got to see Nickel Creek. She liked it, but again, it's like 30 minutes of Nickel Creek.
Yes, yeah. We've seen before our sons only have a certain attention span.
See, I didn't think that. I thought your
Yeah.
guys made it most of the time.
No, we would, like, when we went to...
Because I started doing the Tom. I started giving the, like, well, the Van Boys can do it. I started doing that.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
They could stay up for this. They stay up till 1 a.m.
No. They get burned out of concerts. Now, Max loves AJR, so when they sell AJ... Like, when Crystal and Max saw AJR, like, he loved every song because he knew every song. But when we saw, like, Newfound Glory, we showed up right when Newfound Glory started.
Yeah.
And then left, like, right when they ended. We didn't go to the openers. We didn't, and then same thing for Avett Brothers and Willie Nelson when we took them to that. They couldn't stay, like, they watched a little bit of the Avett Brothers, and then they were done,
Well, now, granted, Maisie is waiting to see her favorite artist. We're waiting for Kacey Musgraves.
Yeah.
So next up is Lord Huron. That's another band.
How early did you get there before the even start, like, the opener started?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Okay, so 20 minutes before the openers.
But we did everything you said. Like, I really did try to do the
Merch
Tom.
booth.
Yeah, we hit the merch booth. That was all your fault. Because when we walked in, no one was at the merch booth. I was like, well, he said to do it for the real concert experience. I got to do it. So we got right in line. It moved very quickly. We got our merch. For those that want to know, if you're going to see Kacey Musgraves, she has some reasonably priced merch. You can get a shirt for $30.
Okay, well, that's pretty cheap nowadays.
Can't believe it. Could not. Everybody got a shirt. When Daddy saw those prices, I was like, okay, everybody can get a shirt.
Although I know shirt prices, and you bought that thing.
It
for
was a
$4.
one color. It was a one color.
Oh, one color,
Yeah,
$30.
yeah,
Okay, well, that's even especially with the volume she's buying it now. But they are soft.
It was a
now.
$2 shirt.
Yeah,
It's gotta be.
yeah.
It was a $2 shirt.
Yeah, but they do make them next level, or like the Bella canvas and all the soft ones.
Yeah,
now.
they have like the nicer heather, or they're like the material feels like it like sucks to your boobs almost.
Yeah. It's not some sort of potato sack old school Gildan like they used to. So at least you get a higher quality shirt.
Yeah. So we get there. Lord Huron's next to go on. I think I'm saying that right, Lord Huron. I think that's what it is. They're like a spaghetti western band. Think of any music that you hear in any western, the background with the whip crack and all that.
Are they old western music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all right.
Maisie hated them.
Okay. Weird. She hated old west music.
Your grandpa would have loved it.
Yeah. He's in heaven looking down.
I don't know if I'm saying their name right, but they were fine. I enjoyed it, but I like music. Maisie, not so much. She wanted to see Kacey Musgraves. So by the time Kacey rolls around, because she has a pretty extensive set, I don't think she went on until 9:45. So we had been there since like, I don't know, 6:40, 6:30, something like that. I'm eating away at my time.
Yeah.
Now, if you've been listening to ACT, especially this week, you'll know that I told a story about how I like to almost make it to the end of any show I'm watching, any movie I'm watching, any book I'm reading, and then right before the end, I go, I got the gist. I got enough. I'm out.
Yeah. Where you you just need to
I
see
put
the beginning,
75% in, and I'll go hard.
and then you leave before
And then
the
I
end.
leave before
Okay.
the end. So we did the big opener. We did, the parade through the crowd with Kacey. She did some of her bigger songs, but I knew that we were leading towards the ending of the concert, which everybody knows is going to be the grand finale.
Okay, yeah.
What are we going to get in this grand finale? Well, I looked it up because I'm that type of person, and I know that we are going to get the triple Limp Bizkit confetti blowers.
Okay, all right.
And all I want is for myself, it's a selfish wish, I want to take a picture in portrait mode with my iPhone of my beautiful daughter that I love more than my own life.
With the confetti
With the
raining
confetti
down,
raining down on her beautiful golden hair because it's golden confetti.
And you got good seats, or good
Yeah,
enough
we
where the
had great
confetti
seats.
will touch you.
It will be on you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a tell that you have good seats.
Yeah.
Is if the confetti can rain on you. Because the cheap seats, you'll see the confetti 200 yards away.
It'll make it to you like at the end of the show. Some will blow by.
One random one will be stuck up
Yeah.
in some weird rafter.
And then you grab it and put it in
Air
your
drifting.
wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, this would have been like Maisie would have been blasted.
Yeah.
She would have been part of the confetti. So we're sitting there, and I look over, and step number 1 starts, and Andrea lit the "Let's Have a Fight" fuse.
Oh, what do you mean?
I look over at Andrea. She's on her phone. I don't like people on their phone at concerts. That wasn't the problem. Guess what she was doing?
What?
Looking up the set list. What was I told never to do? Not allowed to do.
Oh, looking at the set list?
Correct.
Yeah,
And I'm like, hey, why are you looking at the set list? I thought we weren't supposed to look at the set list. And I
planning her exit.
She's planning
Yeah.
her exit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
instantly could tell that Andrea and May were kind of talking, and not necessarily that they wanted to leave, but that they were trying to figure out, like, if they could,
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
or how many more songs do we have left or something like that. So I'm like, all right, come on, man. Like, is she in there? Oh, God, she is in there. And I'm going to get yelled at for
She's like,
for that.
I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Back to planning.
Yeah. Well,
I like playing and not going.
You're not wrong.
Uh-huh.
You're not wrong at all. So I can tell that Maisie's getting antsy. I also can tell that Maisie's getting super tired. Like, she dances all the time. She had gone to her dancing work that morning or that afternoon and, like, helped the little kids before we even went to, the Amway or to the Kia Center to see Kacey Musgraves. So she was tired.
And also, what time does she normally go to bed? And this is really just to piss off all the parents out there
Yeah.
that are listening to this.
Yeah. She will put herself to bed around 8:30, 8:45.
Oh, ain't there before 9? Doesn't even get dark till
Well,
summer.
sometimes she dances until 9:15, and then she'll put herself to bed at 9:45. But like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But she does it herself. I don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We say that's the bedtime in our house, but they're pushing it.
Yeah, because they're smart.
And every day trying to push it.
And so I can tell that they want to go. So I'm kind of having to, like, justify and wrangle in my brain, like, I want to sit here. Also, I spent a lot of money on these tickets. I don't want to necessarily cut the night short, but I can tell that they are struggling with something really, really bad. So we leave all in a bad mood. Because I'm like, well, we're having to leave early, which I can't really argue about because guess what, Dan? Just 2 days ago, you did a whole segment about in your DNA, you get to the end of things, and then you want to leave. Now, you can't get mad as a dad when your spawn standing there, you're looking into her eyes, by the way, that are exactly your eyes. You can't tell her not to do. I mean, I guess you can, but I do it all the time.
But is it different for you for live music? For movies, you love doing it, but for concerts,
I don't know. I think it's
because
different for everybody.
for
Now,
other
do you want to know
concerts,
why she wanted to leave early? Because we did. We left early, all
Okay.
arguing.
All right.
Silent treatment on the way home.
Okay.
Everybody, and Maisie said she had a great time. Well, I mean, I guess I had that, but I shot Andrea a look. Maisie looks at me as we're walking down the escalators of the Kia Center, listening to Kacey Musgraves sing Rainbow. We didn't even see that song. And I shoot over and I shoot Andrea a look, and she looks back at me because Maisie's like, that was amazing. And I'm like, we didn't finish it.
Uh-huh.
How could it be amazing? We didn't get to the ending. We didn't do it.
Now, did Andrew say, like, you hate the endings? Because that's where, if I was your wife, I'd be like, you do this all the time.
No, well, I mean, I probably deserve that, right? But Andrea, no. Andrea's a little more concerned about May. And do you want to know why? And this is another not funny thing. Do you want to know why she cut it short? She was tired. She had had enough that day, but she wanted to get a good night's rest because she had fast testing.
I thought you wanted to get home
I'm
so
not
you
kidding.
can rest for the test the next day.
It's a specific type of test called FAST, or what? I don't even know what the acronym stands. I don't even know what it stands for. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, my sons tell me about that.
Yeah.
The day after they took it, they're like, I had this fast testing today. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're supposed to tell us prepare for that.
She's just
They're
like her mom.
They're like, I didn't know it was coming. They just gave it to me.
Yeah.
Who knows what is coming? I'm
She's
like,
just
they
like her
tell
mom,
you.
just like her mom and her dad. She's just like her dad. She was like, well, I can cut this short. I got the gist. And just like her mom, I got testing in the morning. I'm going to bed. She crushed it. She got a great job on her test. So, I mean, I guess if you're looking at the big picture.
The scores are back.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't even know what that is.
Maisie is so much of a nerd that she knows that Andrea knows how to log in and see immediately the grade of her fast test. So they logged in last night and saw what she got.
You can log into something. I don't know.
Yeah, they
anything
did.
about
They
this.
logged in, and Maisie was like, yes, I raised it by 30 points. She was like all pumped up. I'm like, well, if that's where you get your jollies is from the accomplishments of school and whatever, then I can't stop that. I'm glad that you chose that path. You ruined my concert, but hey,
Well,
you,
I mean-
you raised your points by 30 points. You
She
scored, I
likes
think.
tests. She hates pot smoking hippie country artists.
Yeah. She hates Willie Nelson and loves your big tech.
So, but you know, she had fun at her first concert.
See,
or whatever.
I don't know. It was one of those things where I think I have to, as a dad, stop putting pressure on myself about these adventures or these experiences that I have created in my brain that are not real. You know, like I have created this idea of like the confetti falling on her golden hair as Kacey Musgraves is singing, and I get a photo, right? And that she will look at me and say, you are the best dad because you gave me this moment that no one else can give me. Like you and the Moab, you're holding your boys, an arm around each one, right? And you're looking at Delicate Arch, and you're like, I'm giving you something that I'm too sensitive because I knew, like, I wanted it to be bigger, right? I wanted it to be like, I wanted her to fall to her knees and like, and then start uncontrolled. Like, I have to kiss you, daddy. Something like it's just that's not good. You're not gonna get that.
No.
It's not real.
You'll never get
It's
what
not real.
your fantasy is about, you know, really anything. I've never seen something where I go into some sort of trip or adventure and then get what you fantasize about getting.
Yeah.
Where they hug you, they're like, "You're the best. Thank you for
this. I love it so
Thank you for paying for all. Thank you
yeah,
for working hard. This is the best experience of my life. You know, and the problem is
It was my fault. Like if anybody messed up the evening, it was me. You know what I mean? Like it was because my expectations were incorrect. Also, I was projecting what I wanted to happen on everybody else. Not gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, now
I tried to Captain Tom it, and I was very sad.
You should have predicted.
Yeah, I know.
This would happen.
I should have talked to you beforehand. I should have just you give
getting
me
there
like
early or getting there early,
Yeah.
leaving early is the Dennis way.
It is the Dennis way. Yeah.
So how did you not predict that?
No, you're
like,
right.
Hey, we're gonna get here early.
You're
We're
right.
gonna leave early.
You're right.
Yeah,
100%
yeah.
right. I
And-
feel like that's me in life. You know?
Yeah. I'll go into every trip like something bad's gonna happen, and then I'm right every time.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm gonna work. I have to work on that because the level of expectation that I set, even for myself, you know, like, and it could have just been a good night, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, there it was. She's just like her dad.
Well, you know, listen.
It doesn't make you want to spend money on stuff like that, though. It does make you want to kind of cheap out and not tell your kids. Like, it almost made me feel like I should have bought the worst seats and said these were the best seats because the experience would have been the same.
Yeah. Well, the difference, I mean, you get the gist of the
Yeah.
experience. Like,
Yeah.
I'm big about the gist of things.
Well, so is Maisie.
Although, I remember some friends of mine, like a month ago, Lucy and her husband, I've known her since like I was in middle school.
That's crazy.
And then, so she came up and stayed with her family, and they went to, I don't even know the name of the artist, but it was it was kind of like an AJR scenario where
I remember this. It was like a family-centric, it was like kids can go to it, right?
it was at House of Blues. Yeah. And
I
like,
remember this.
there are some artists, it's interesting because I don't think they set out to do this, but it just happened and they're rolling with it, where they have a lot of younger audience.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're like an alternative pop star, but they'll sing about like, kind of adult things, but they don't curse. And therefore, the parents are happy that they
Sure.
listen to the
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But like they'll push the envelope a little bit. Maybe they'll the AJR says something, weed, everyone's alcohol,
Yeah.
like adult themes. But for whatever reason, us parents are like, it's fine. It's not, it's not too bad. Anyway, it's one of those artists, and they're at the House of Blues. And I remember I told them, I'm like, you should get the Loge for this. Because if you're down there standing, like first their kid, their youngest is like 7 and he's short.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
And I'm like, just get the Loge. I
Yeah.
was telling the dad, Sal's like, hey, just pay the money. He's like, it's a lot of money. I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
And
it
I'm like,
is.
just get it. So he bought it, and then they brought a sign, and then the artist saw, because the Loge they bought one of those side loges.
Yeah.
And then the artist like looked over, saw the sign, read it,
Yeah.
and then like it was a
That's
experience.
Cool. That's cool.
And then it's like, and then he was like, "Oh, definitely worth the money." So sometimes, like, it's worth,
We brought a sign too.
$1,200.
We
for
actually
that.
we had a sign for Kacey too, and we heard her reading it as we were walking to the parking lot. She was
like,
like,
"Someone
"Oh
left a
wow,
sign on the
there's a
seat."
sign here that says Maisie loves Kacey. Let's bring her up on stage so she can. Oh, she's not here. Okay, next song." Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. I think my voice it fits my anger better.
All right, we will see you tomorrow.